December 23rd, I'd go up to the Safeway, up the street, to get provisions for the holiday weekend, so I don't have to go outside and watch people plow into light poles and, making merry and, killing themselves and everything. And so I'm up there early, making sure I got all the food and all the ammunition and, sparking up on all the napalm and hard liquor I need to withstand the Christmas holidays. And like I said, my neighborhood is not too great, so they have this security check on the way out. They kind of funnel everyone into a single file chute. And they have a big, burly security guy who kind of looks down to make sure you're not taking 9 hams out, not shoving 9 hams up your ass and waddling home with them, So they are checking you out to see if you're not So I get my food, and I'm about to leave to get into the little cow chute. And up ahead of me is a woman, an old woman with one of those walker things, the 4 legs. And she is moving about this fast. She's like 1 mile a year. Now, imagine the cow chute. It goes from 3 lanes to 2 to 1 to 1 person can get through holding his bags like this. I mean, it's kind of a tight walk. Okay, so in the store, you've got people like you, people like me. You've got businessmen, normal, sane, civilized people. What happens when we hit lane 2? And the woman is making very slow progress, and she's right about to get to the point where it's only going to be her down the chute, which will probably take her a full minute. What happens? People in 3-piece suits, normal-looking people, start doing absurd retardo Olympics to get past her to get out. They can't wait 30 seconds or a minute for the woman to get out. Their life is so goddamn important that they've got to halfway knock this woman over. So they have to do this like this. It's just ridiculous. They're knocking into the wall. They're knocking into the woman with their groceries. No. Can you wait for a minute? No, man. Are you kidding? I got to go home and watch television. No. They're giving out money in the parking lot. I got to go. Grown up, normal people acting like vicious, nasty, 11-year-old, weak children. Only when you're 11 years old, it's okay if you act like a nasty, rotten little son of a bitch, because hopefully you'll grow out of it. Some people grow into it. So they're knocking the lady over, and I'm just sitting there watching, being disgusted by the second by these people turning themselves into living carcasses of shit right in front of me. They're knocking into the woman. She finally gets out, and now she has the 9-mile hump to the door. And she's going there, and there's people making her way around. They're like, oh, I don't want to get caught with her. They're really in a big goddamn hurry now, because the world might end if they don't get out to the parking lot and hurry home to whatever bullshit they have to withstand for the rest of the evening. And so it takes 2 full minutes, and I'm just watching. I'm her fan now. I'm like, okay, this is great, And she crutches her ass out of Safeway, and then she crutches on over to a trash can. And right underneath her are blinking Christmas lights and people running back and forth in the chilly December weather. It's 80 degrees. It was really cold out there. And she's bent over the trash can, and it looks like she's looking for something. And she's kind of bouncing like this. And I thought maybe she had one of those, some old folks, sometimes they kind of wobble and shit, I don't know is that Parkinson's disease or something. But anyway, she's over the trash can like she's looking for something. And I thought she might kind of be one of those crazy, half vagrant types who kind of look like they could be living somewhere. They could be living on the street. You're never too sure. And they're always looking for aluminum cans or garbage in the garbage can, something to eat, something to sell, to get a few pennies here or there. And she's looking down there, and I go, what the fuck is she doing? And I walk around her, and this woman is crying into the trash can. A woman on December 23rd with Christmas lights over her head, with her little sack of groceries hanging onto the left handle of her 4-legged walker, crying into the trash can. It is one of the most powerful things I've ever seen in my life. And I walked all the way home it's a feeling which probably most of you have felt. It's like a very, very, very deep, resounding rage. It's just rage that you can't, it's like you want to grip something and strangle it, but there's nothing to grab. And what really made me thoroughly disgusted was just the weakness of people. I despise weakness. I despise weakness in everything. I despise weakness in myself, and I try to annihilate it all the time. So what I'm getting at is the woman in the walker crawling. The roach with his guts 9 miles at his ass, crawling. There are some people who cannot justify their own existence unless they make someone else crawl. There's a lot of cops with badges on, and the only time they're real is when they put their badge on and they fuck with people, because they don't exist when they're just not fucking someone. And maybe some of you have been made to crawl. If you haven't been made to crawl, maybe you should go out and experience an experience that makes you crawl. It makes me think of, you know how they have those crisis centers? I would like to have a crisis center where you could go in and someone would give you a big crisis. Well, I've never had a crisis before. My life has been pretty good. Okay, well, come on into this office. Please sit down. Can we see your hand for a minute? Oh, yeah, here. Okay, well, you're bleeding. We got you to go to the hospital now. You've got a crisis on your hands, pal. You know, and maybe you might learn something from that, but what I'm getting to is there always are millions of people lining up to make you crawl. And when you are in the position of crawling, be careful of the shoes, because there always will be someone, maybe even someone you know or you think you love, who will be grinding their boot down on your head. And if you've ever had that happen to you, you know how much it hurts. And if you ever try to advance yourself, which hopefully you are trying to do with your lives, advancing yourself, elevating yourself, true advancement and true elevation does not come when you elevate yourself by pushing down on someone else's shoulders. True advancement does not come by sticking a guy in his ass with a knife and knocking him out of the way so you can stand where he was standing. That's not advancement. That's not elevation. That's just petty, cruel, vicious, weak bullshit by those who want to make someone else crawl. And I'm not trying to lay some big Aesop's fable on your ass, but if you're not careful, you can make someone crawl without even knowing it. And the best thing to do with that is just to make sure that you never do that to anybody, even though they did it to you, because it's weak. And weakness is just bullshit.